What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. I have returned. I am back after MX Bikes Milan at the EICMA event, and my god, it was so much fun. But at the same time, I'm so happy to be back home and being able to sleep in my own bed. And when I got home, I slept for, I think it was 11 hours straight. Like, I was absolutely zoinked. I was out for the count. I had so much fun. Hopefully, majority of you that are watching this have seen the vlog that I done by now. Again, I was a little bit disappointed with some of the audio issues throughout, but I feel like I salvaged it to the best of my abilities. And I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully that is the start of things to come in terms of like vlogging life. I can now extend and maybe do some like gym stuff, because if any of you watch back like the live stream or the vlog, you will see that Victor is a rather large man, and he definitely does gym, and he can definitely lift probably more than most of the community combined. So he's kind of got me in the mood for getting a little bit gymmy. So I've reached out to him, asked for his like workout plan, and he's helping me with all that sort of stuff. So, you know, we could make it a little bit of a series on the channel. Maybe it's like a monthly update, something like that, because I don't want to just turn this into a vlog fitness channel. I still want to be doing MX Bikes, of course. But let's get into this. So today, I was very surprised to see a lack of, I guess, tracks drop in whilst I was away. I thought I'd come home to at least like 2 or 3, but there has really been nothing. What there has been, however, is if anybody remembers Peck, he is the man who helped with the like really realistic like reshade GoPro settings that I done a video on not too long ago. He's also been messing around with game files and has adjusted some of the rider animations. Now, this isn't only Supermoto related. He also has ones for motocross as well, where like the leg comes out in different situations and etc. But I thought this video would be a really good chance to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So the first one is going to be the Supermoto animations, and the second one is going to be how the OEM tyres handle tarmac. I'm well aware that the tyres probably overheat very, very quickly. I don't think there's anything that can be done within the game files to really adjust that. I know they've kind of scoured through everything to see if anything can be done, but I just don't think it's a thing. So I might have to go back to the pits every now and then. You can see, like now that I've done a lap of this this course here, I'm starting to slide all over the place. But look how sick that looks as you kind of like back into the corner and slide in properly. One thing that I think's really cool about this is until this point, the Supermoto animations have only been viable on... Actually, let me respawn and set a mark here as well, so we ain't got to keep going back and forth. There we go. So reset, done, and we'll go again. Yeah, I think the Supermoto animations have only really been viable on the stock Supermoto bikes, like the stock Puboso Supermotos, and I've always like wanted us to be able to run them regardless, because Supermoto isn't a discipline that gets much love on this game. You know, the Supermoto bikes themselves are fairly outdated, but when you do use them, obviously your leg comes out in like every single corner, and to an extent, you know, like Supermoto riders do put their leg out every now and then, but not in every single corner all the time. You know, it might even just be to like put their flat foot on the ground to either help with stability or to just give a little bit extra drag and help with the braking. But a lot of time it might be it'll be like the knee rather than anything, and they'll be quite, you know, hunched over and leant forwards over the bike, and I think this does a really good job of replicating that. Now, as I said, this isn't only Supermoto related. He has gone through and changed a bunch of stuff with the default rider, default motocross stuff too, which I might visit at a later date. One thing that I think could be quite funny is, obviously I play in first person anyway, so this doesn't affect me too much, but it'd be quite funny if I just decided to run this all the time, even when doing motocross. Imagine like someone like Narvo, who commentates the professional races, having this downloaded, and then there's me like racing around Anaheim 1 with these Supermoto animations on, just dragging knees in the bowl turns. I imagine that could be quite comedic, so it's something that I might actually dabble with a little bit. Now, of course, I will link these for you down in the description below, so you can go and try them all out for yourselves. One thing I would recommend is that you read the installation instructions properly, so you make sure that you put them in the right place. And then, as well as that, a lot of people will probably wonder why their paints disappear. And paints are, I guess, not locked, but they're independent to each of the rider models. So if you change your rider model from default to Supermoto, then your skins won't carry over. So you have to actually go into your files, go into the Supermoto rider type. Oh, look at that. Hold on to it. No. I was so close. Go into the Supermoto and then go into paints, and then also copy and paste your skins back over there as well, because I'm sure there'll be questions about it. I've already seen a lot of questions about it on the mods page too. So just wanted to, I guess, give you that information beforehand before you get any issues at all. Well, since we've kind of seen what that's about on the tarmac side of things, let me just spin a lap or two in Supercross and see if it's like goofy at all. I believe this is all aesthetics. I don't believe it makes any difference to how bikes perform. If you're a third-person player, then it might make a difference to you just from like a placebo perspective or just how it feels. Because I know that when I change my FOV, for example, or first-person settings when I'm playing, it feels like the bike handles differently when it just doesn't. It's just not what you're used to. It's something a little bit different. So I promise you that this is all for aesthetics only, and there is no actual changes being made to how the bikes handle at all. Because again, I'm sure there's people that are going to say there's something going on behind the scenes. Purely visual, purely aesthetics, and I want to say thank you, Peck, by the way, for doing these weird and wonderful things. I've noticed recently that a lot of people are starting to dabble in the behind the scenes stuff that we don't really mess with usually. So not that long ago we had the template released for like the custom, I guess, like main menu screen, so where I've got all like the James Charles pictures slapped in there. So that's really nice that we can customize that. And now knowing that it sounds very, very difficult to do, but knowing that there is a way of editing the animations, I think's just really cool. And you know it's in the game because it happens on the Supermoto bikes, but it's just weird that we've never been able to just make it apply to whatever bikes we want it to apply to. So maybe this is the start of Supermoto getting a little bit of love. I'd love to see it. Like back in the really, really early days of my channel, we had a Supermoto series that was ran by Jin, and I'd done a couple rounds of that, and the views on it were absolutely awful at the time. But it was some of the most fun racing that you could have on the game. Like, it was so close, and the racing was just wide open. The traction on tarmac back then was actually really good. I'm not sure what has changed over the years, but you actually got like full one-to-one traction back then, so you could really apex corners well. You wouldn't have to worry about the back end sliding out at all. And I'd love for it to go back to that again. I'm not sure exactly what's happened since then. It probably was just on Supermoto tyres or Supermoto bikes in general, so it'd be nice to kind of replicate that feeling. And if the OEM team ever has, I know they're kind of reworking the OEM bikes again, just from discussing with Insane, for example, at the LAN event and talking to others over Discord. There's a lot of changes that are coming up as well that I'm quite excited for. And honestly, after going to that LAN event as well and hearing everything that's going on behind the scenes and talking to various people, I think 2024 is going to be such an incredible year for MX bikes that you have no idea what's coming up. Not only with the quality of the tracks, but with additional changes being made to bikes as well. And then even just weird and wonderful stuff like this, and the community getting bigger and just making weird and wonderful stuff for the game. I'm very, very excited. So I'm hoping that this game continues to develop and continues to grow. And having spoken to both Faboso and Snap at LANout as well, they seem both, first of all, very, very lovely. I had no idea Snap was from the UK until I met him, so really nice knowing that he's quite close to home. And they both seem very motivated now more than ever after seeing what the game can be and hopefully what it can become. So mark my words, 2024, I'm hoping, is going to be an absolutely incredible year for MX Bikes. And that was just me going on a little bit of a tangent, but what I meant to say is that once the OEM team are all finished with making updates to the actual motocross bikes, it'd be nice to see if we can get any updates to the Supermoto bikes and just those weird and wonderful disciplines that, again, don't get much love. Like, we got a update to the Enduro bikes not that long ago to make them more viable on hills when we was doing an Enduro series, slapping updated tyres on them. So Supermoto, I think it could be good. There's a lot of tracks that you can ride Supermoto bikes on this game. A lot of them are converted like kart racing pro tracks. The only issue that we have is because of the traction in the game currently, not many of the tracks are too viable to actually play. I dabbled in it quite irregularly, just every now and then, and I know people like Smigdamp, for example, absolutely loves it, and it's good when you get a flow going, but then it really only lasts for like a lap or two before your tyres just completely give up on you, where they get really, really hot and they lose all their traction. So please. That's the only thing I can say is just please, maybe one day. I'd love to see that and get some just different series going on in this game. I also wanted to take this chance quickly because I don't think I'd done it much in the vlog at all. At least when I watched it back, I don't recall doing it. I showed like parts of the live stream after the fact when I went up and like shook Cam's hand, etc., and we was having a little talk after the race. But I just want to say a massive well done to him. Like, he fully deserved to win that. He was just in a league above everybody else on that day. He was absolutely incredible, at least a second lap faster than everyone. And a lot of people I saw saying like that I would have been really angry and upset, and I think nobody's ever going to be like ecstatic or super happy about getting second, especially when it comes so close. But I'm happy with how I played, especially in that second moto. I thought I rode really well. But then outside of that, I was kind of caught in a tough situation, and I actually think second place is probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because if I got first, all I can imagine is everyone online in Discord, etc., would just be saying, yeah, Cam got robbed because of the tough blocks, blah, 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 Linz didn't deserve it. And I kind of agree. Like, the fact that he got stuck in the barrels for 20 seconds and still managed to chase everybody down, pass everybody, and still win just shows how much he deserved it. So I've got no like bad or ill feelings at all. I really enjoyed the event still. And yes, of course, it would be nice to win, but getting second to Cam, who was just that fast on the day, I don't see anything wrong or shameful in that at all. So massive hats off to him, and then a massive well done to Aiden as well for getting third in both motos and going third overall. But then not only that, managing to also get second in the Assetto Corsa against people like Danny Pedrosa, Antonio Cairoli, Nicolo Balega, Rebecca Bianchi as well. Like, so many big names in there. Like, it's actually nuts to even just sit there and think for a second. A bunch of random MX Bikes players that usually sit in their room just playing a motocross video game that usually has about maybe 2,000 to 2,500 people playing each game, going head to head against names and celebrities like that in person. It baffles me. So again, massive well done to Aiden for getting second on that. It was really impressive. He's actually really good at driving games, and he's never played Assetto Corsa before, like the same as a bunch of us, so it was just really cool to see. But I have got a bone to pick, by the way, because after all the racing was finished, I hopped onto the setup that Danny was on, who beat everybody by a mile, by the way. He was very good. And as soon as I hopped on it, within 3 laps, I beat my best lap time by almost 2 seconds. So Danny was running like full custom setup, because I think he's got one of them rigs set up at home. So I want a Remax next year. I want it on fair terms. I want to use the same setup, and I think it will be very interesting. Hopefully, I do a bit better than 5th place. But it's so funny watching it back and seeing Aiden make a good pass on Cairoli, and Cairoli tried diving up the inside and took himself out. And then later in the race, Cam just like punted into the side of him, and like, I think we all made the best of the opportunity. When in life can you say that you punted Antonio Cairoli off the track? You can't. So it was a really fun event. I'm really happy with it, and I hope that we get to do it again next year. And I'm hoping that the rules stay the same, because if they start letting everybody qualify instead of just over 18s, then I'm going to be in trouble, boys. I need the help. I need as much help as I can get. I'm not sure that once all of the fast people in the game start being eligible to qualify, that I'll be in the same situation. But fortunately, it's not due to, you know, people just not liking people under 18. It's purely down to the rules and regulations surrounding like prizes in Italy. They're very strict on it, so you do have to be over 18 to receive any kind of prizes from events. So hopefully that is understandable. You know, I don't feel like these animations are really affecting my riding at all. It looks a little bit weird going into the corners and not having your leg hang out, but honestly, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't ride this all the time. It's actually quite funny, and I'm curious to see what my rider looks like online for other people that don't have it installed, because I remember a little while back, who was it? It was, oh god, I think it was Pay 20, is it Pay 2021? I think that's the guy's name. He's one of the main guys behind all the CBMX packs. He makes a bunch of different mods for various games like Monster Energy Supercross and MXGP, etc. He released a different rider model, and he was a bit of a chunky boy. He was a bit girthy. But I remember when I installed that, a lot of riders that I was coming across online were like T-posing or glitched inside the bike. So I'd be very interested to see if anything like that happens for other people watching me play. So I might run it online, see if I get any comments. But honestly, Peck, I think you've done a really good job on this, and this is me only just like touching the surface of this, just going on the supermoto side of things. I've not even looked at the motocross stuff yet, so that might come up in another video. Depends how like different and drastic the changes are, we shall see. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been very like nice and casual, like just ease myself back into things, I think. I am kind of really motivated now to try and capitalize on the event and the success, and hopefully try and push the game as far as it can be pushed and get some more brands involved, etc. So we're going to go... How do you say this without it sounds sus? We're just going to go hard. We're going to go as hard as we can and just try and push things and get some more streams going and get all of you guys involved, and we'll see what the future holds for us. And I just want to say thank you again. I said it on the live stream, but we've got such a supportive community, and to think a year ago I was doing a 9-to-5 desk job, and now I got flown to Milan and was treated like royalty for an entire weekend and got to meet some of the biggest names in motorsport just for playing MX bikes. It's disgusting. Like, I feel so lucky and so privileged, and I feel like it's a little bit undeserved, but it's all because of you. And I don't want to be that YouTuber that gets all soppy on you, but without you sitting there and watching my videos and like liking and subscribing and all that good stuff, I would not be where I am right now. So thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, again, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is very much appreciated. I hope you will have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.